there's a community, I think it's Valley Center in San Diego County. They have these little 2-lane roads, and they've got 4 major Indian casinos, and they're just getting thousands of cars. People are saying our community's ruined, or the lifestyle. The cars, we smell the cars all the time. There was an Indian tribe, the Alabama Coushatas in Texas, that for several years opposed gambling for religious reasons because they were Christian, Baptist and Presbyterian, and also they didn't want strangers coming into their community, thousands at a time. They just didn't want this. They wanted to have their community and their community values. And they didn't want to have their kids seeing people drunk. They didn't want their kids seeing people staggering out of a casino and doing wheelies as their cars left or cussing. They wanted to have a sense that their community values, as they had been in the past, were going to be preserved. And they saw gambling was very much against it, and they opposed the casino for many years on that basis. Navajos have felt the same way in Arizona. Actually, they've had several elections voting down casinos. So this idea that the value of get rich quick as a Native American value can be challenged. As a matter of fact, I've talked about sharing. There is a Native American tradition that is more prevalent in Northwest, up toward Canada, between sort of Oregon and Alaska, called the potlatch. And each year, the people in the tribe would demonstrate their social status by showing how much they could give away to the poor people in the tribe. And the person that gave away the most would end up poor, not poor, but without wealth. And the leader would also aspire to live in the most humble house to show that he's taking care of everybody else before he's taking care of himself. This was a Native American tradition. I do not see this in Native American gaming. And it's a tradition, I think, that should be emulated. It's a tradition that should be spread, and to the extent, it may not be prevalent, but the notion should be prevalent. The notion of you are a good person if you take care of your neighbor first, and you give your wealth when your neighbor needs help. It's a very Christian, but I think every other religious is certainly part of Muslims with the alms to the poor, certainly part of the Jewish tradition, and I think it's certainly part of the Buddhist tradition. It's part of Native America, and I don't see it in Native American gaming, and I would like to see some more Indian traditions in Native American gaming. In California, the people that go to the casinos are the people that live near the casinos. This is the way it is all across the United States. I participated in a survey of 700 gamblers in Illinois casinos. We found those living closest made the greatest number of visits. Las Vegas is different. Las Vegas is a tourist town. We get out-of-towners, and when we say out of town, we mean 300 miles away, because all we got's Barstow between Los Angeles and Las Vegas. All we got's Wickenburg between Las Vegas and Phoenix. And, you know, we go north, we have to go 400 miles to get Salt Lake, maybe Ely's in the way, or Cedar City. But we get out-of-towners that bring money in from another economy. How do we do it? We have the biggest hotels in the world. We have the biggest hotel bargains. There's a supply and demand thing there. We have the greatest shows in the world. We got Celine Dion, Caesar's Palace, spent $95 million building an auditorium just for her. And when she can't perform because everybody needs a day off, they bring Elton John in. This is world attraction. Let me tell you something Steve Wynn told me. He said he built the Bellagio, and since then MGM's taken it. Now he's building the Wynn Resorts. When he opened the Bellagio, he said, San Francisco was known for its restaurants. So I thought about that. I want to be like San Francisco. And he said, I studied it, and they had something called a Baird chef. A Baird chef was the most world-renowned chef, was the highest status a chef had, and there were 5 of them in San Francisco. And I looked at that, and I said, that's wonderful. That's what we need. He said, when the doors of the Bellagio opened, our restaurants, there were 7 Baird chefs in my building. Las Vegas has been ranked number 2 in America in dining establishments. New York, number 1, Las Vegas, number 2. New York's 5 times as big as we are. We have the greatest shows. Celine Dion, her auditorium costs $95 million. They pay her $50-60 million a year. And she brings $300 million in business for that place. She's worth it. She's worth it. Siegfried and Roy were the leading magicians. We also have David Copperfield. We have Lance Burton. We have the greatest musicians. We get the championship boxing matches. We have a racetrack. We have our Indianapolis, Las Vegas Speedway. We do the 500-mile races, both stock car and Indy cars. We have shopping. We have the Forum Shopping Center. I'll just give a contrast between Las Vegas and Sydney, Australia, where somebody was pouting about their casino. I went to the casino, the Star Casino in Sydney. What you do is you go into a shopping center and you go down a hall and you go into a casino. Big casino, 2,000 slot machines. Their casino's in a shopping center. Forum Shopping Center in Las Vegas is in a casino. The Forum Shopping Center is in Caesars. The revenues are $1,500 per square foot, the greatest revenue of any shopping center in the world. We have the finest shopping. We bring in Asians. We also have the Belk's outlet malls. We have those, and the Asians love those. But they can go to the 3 or 4, the Bellagio and the Caesars and the Venetian, and go to the shopping and get the highest quality shopping in the world, in sort of in a 1-mile area. They'd have to go from Ginza to Osaka to duplicate it in Japan. So they come. There are attractions that draw people into Las Vegas. And we can do more in the future, and we're doing more. We're building more places, and we're going for niches. George Maloof, who will be managing the San Pablo, he's designed a casino that appeals to professional athletes. He owns the Sacramento Kings, and he gets all the professional athletes there. They can't bet on basketball, so they're free to go there. They don't dare go into Caesars. Somebody's going to catch them around the sports book, and they'll be in trouble. They can go into his casino, feel free to gamble. He went to a bed company. I don't know what the company was, but they developed a bed 7.5 feet long. It's called the NBA bed. And I said, well, he said, no, that's the name of the bed. You want to order a bed for somebody that's 7 feet tall, you order an NBA bed. He has them in every suite in his hotel. That's attraction. And then he attracts the movie stars like Bugsy Siegel. Of course, it was Britney Spears had her wedding thing there and all of that. We draw the customers, 37 million visitors from around the world. But we don't do it by just putting in 2,000 slot machines and 100 tables. It's a lot more than that.